Was there music that I didn't hear?
Yeah, music was playing.
It was?
It was.
I did not hear it.
I'll have to go back and check if the good people out there heard it.
I got nothing.
Interesting.
I just got a spinning little circle. Thank you, Restream. Anywho, I missed out on my dancing this morning. Welcome everybody to Moment of Presence. I am Michelle with Moksha Grace Coaching,
And I'm Krista with Wicked Wisdom Consulting. Thanks so much for joining us today. Do you want to do the deep breaths to start, and then we'll go into today's topic?
yes, and I'm also going to stand up because
Whoa!
because this is like one of those topics where hi Hunter.
Hunter's making an appearance. Hi, buddy.
Maybe it was because I stood up. Okay, yes, let's do some deep breathing. So what we're gonna do is
Hold on real quick. So our topic today is, are you the puppet or the puppet master? We're gonna go into a couple different things with this. All right, go ahead.
Okay. And we're gonna be concise because we have to end it in about
7 minutes? Yeah, okay, go ahead. No, maybe like 15.
Yeah, 15. And so we'll extend this conversation, definitely. May have to pop up and do a live. But anyway, we're going to take a big deep breath in, we're going to hold it, and we're going to exhale it out. And I want us to really calm our nervous system. There is a lot of stuff going on around the world, and probably a lot more coming this weekend. So let's get ready and prepare, not out of fear, but out of love. So, big deep breath in. Hold it. Exhale slowly. Big deep breath in. Hold it. Exhale nice and slow. And big deep breath in. And exhale slowly.
I would like to kick us off by saying that having this topic today is really divinely orchestrated, because we planned these topics a month and a half ago or more. And the timing of this is just chef's kiss.
Truly. I agree.
And I feel like the people out there who are either watching now or will be watching at some point are going, what are you talking about?
Potentially.
And so let's just dive right in. What do we mean by, are you the puppet or the puppet master?
Yeah. So to me, what it means is, who is controlling? So once you wake up and you open your eyes and you think to yourself, because I say it every single week, you get to choose if it's a good day or a bad day. You get out of bed, you decide, I'm going to have a hell of a day. It's going to be awesome. What happens after that? Who controls your story, your narrative, your day? Is it you, or are you being controlled by situations and circumstances that happen to you? And are you allowing that to take away your peace, your calm, and your intention of having that great day? That's what this means to me.
What it means to me is, so if you're allowing your life to be ruled by emotions, you are letting, which in this case, I guess we could call it the emotions or the puppet here. If you're allowing your life to be ruled by emotions, you basically give up free reins to be manipulated and controlled by other people, because they know that they can exploit that, dare I say, weakness of you allowing your emotions to run the show.
Hence the freedom flag behind us.
Yeah, I actually meant to change that back to our normal background, but then I forgot. So another just divine happy accident.
Well, it is Flag Day on Saturday.
There we go.
And for those of us that are in America, Flag Day is a day that we celebrate our nation's flag, what it means to us. And
Perfect.
liberation is what I do. It's that emotional liberation from being controlled by the puppet master internally, which is your emotions, your shadow, your dark archetypes. And here's the thing, and I dance around this because typically when we say shadow or doing shadow work, people are kind of getting nervous. Oh my god, what does that mean? When we were kids and we stood and we saw our shadow, right? It was kind of fun to kind of like dance around with the shadow and whatever. Shadow work is accepting the voices and emotions that are within so that don't they can't surprise us. They can't knock us off our guard.
Mm-hmm.
That we know that they're there. We know how they feel, right? These are the different parts and aspects of us. We know what triggers us, and we train ourselves ahead of time for situations so that way when we're in the situation, we don't freak out, we don't react,
Mm-hmm.
because reacting is what gets us all in trouble.
Yeah.
Hence what we're seeing on TV, hence what we're seeing on social media, hence what we're seeing and hearing with the arguments and the battles and the right. Who is the puppet in your life and who is the puppet master?
Yeah. And I think this all ends up feeding into the conversation of radical responsibility, and also the concept of just not allowing the external world to control your inner world so significantly that you start behaving in ways that you otherwise wouldn't, or behaving in ways that do harm to others, behaving in ways that hurt those that you love, because your emotions get so overwhelming that you don't know what else to do with yourself.
Right. Very true. And what is, so crazy is if you're not attending things with your family or your friends, if you're not leaving your house because you don't want to get into arguments with people in the grocery store, if you can't control your mouth or your reactions to things, or you have a fear of that, then you are a puppet to your own internal puppet master. You are being manipulated by your own emotions.
Yeah.
So we're
Isn't
not
that
even,
crazy?
yeah. And we're not even talking about politics or any of that.
Though if
We're,
you infer that, that's your own call.
right, exactly. What we're talking about is how are you showing up for you, for
Mm-hmm.
your family, for your part of the world, for your part of your environment. So, are you being respectful of other people's thoughts, feelings, and where they are? Because there's a lot of people whose eyes are becoming open for the first time and they're seeing things that they didn't realize. The illusion is breaking down.
Mm-hmm.
They don't deserve to be kicked in the teeth. They don't deserve to be teased because guess what? That was probably us a few years ago. And so how were we handled or helped or guided? And we should be able to be that for others. Now, again, we're not talking about what side anybody's on. This isn't about sides. This is about maintaining control of your internal world
Mm-hmm.
so that you can be the best version of yourself.
Yeah. And what I love about these conversations is I've very much been there. Um, and we talked about this before, but I used to be the type of person where in my early 20s, late teens, early 20s, I was very emotional. I would get triggered very easily by a lot of different things. I would cause arguments with my friends and family because they thought differently than I did. And I would I wouldn't be able to stay in situations and environments where I would get triggered. And I finally decided one day, like, I'm so tired of being emotionally upset. And so I started to force myself to sit in those uncomfortable situations where I could overhear conversations that were bothering me. And I built up the resilience until one day I realized this is so silly. This literally has nothing to do with me. Why am I getting so upset about it? And I literally desensitized myself to being emotionally triggered by sitting with my emotions, feeling them, allowing myself to feel them, and then allowing myself to see other perspectives. And now it's almost I've gotten so good at it that now it's almost problematic because I can see all the different perspectives, and it's hard for me to hold a grudge against somebody now.
Yeah.
And
And
that took time and effort, but I'll tell you what, it's a lot better way to live.
I was going to say, how does it feel to
Whoo!
not have to carry that?
Man, does it feel good.
And that's a big thing, because people think that, oh, well, I got in a fight with this person, and you know they didn't say I'm sorry, or I have to say I'm sorry in order to make it right. I mean, I've got to ask everyone for forgiveness,
Just let
that
it
kind
go.
of thing. And it's like, actually, it's about forgiving yourself for allowing yourself to be manipulated by your internal puppet master.
Mhm.
That's where the forgiveness comes in. It's owning it and going, okay, this happened. I can do better,
Yeah.
and then do better.
Hmm. Well, it's funny. I was just looking at some of the clips from our previous episodes, um, and I had just watched a clip where we were talking about letting go and what letting go means, and that you can literally just stop and decide, I don't want to be bothered by this anymore, and literally move in a different direction, think in a different direction, speak in a different direction.
Yeah.
And I think that's so prevalent here too, is that we take on so many struggles and heartbreaks of others. And I think as a society, as a people, as a being, I don't think that we were ever intended to. I mean, because if we think about it, when humans first came to be, realistically, we were in small little villages. We didn't have the ability to take on the struggles and the heartbreak of the world. And now, because of this stupid thing and the things that we're on right now, we're exposed to so many things that I don't know that our human body and our human mind was meant to be exposed to. We weren't meant to take on those struggles. I know that because in the law of Abraham Hicks and law of attraction, we don't need to be carrying any of that. All that does is lower our vibration. And, some people would argue, oh, it's sticking your head in the sand. I can't do anything about that happening directly. It doesn't make me feel good. I then start feeling bad, which means I now am attracting situations that I don't want to be in because I'm forcing myself to see something because I feel like I have to, and that's not enough good enough reason, in my opinion.
So there's a couple things to be aware of. Number one, is this really the devil's work? Is this really horrible and horrendous? On one hand, it does connect us, and it allows us to know what potential is out there, what potential threats, but what potential good as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's all how you utilize the tools that you have.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm looking at social media and I start noticing, and this is that radical acceptance, radical responsibility of and being very self-aware, this is where this comes into play. Because if you're watching something and you notice that your energy is slipping, turn it the f off.
Oh yeah, happened to me
And,
this morning.
right, go watch something else.
Yeah.
And that's one, radical responsibility. Observe yourself, your energy, and when you feel it starting to slip, take action for yourself. And
Mm-hmm.
if you don't, and you allow yourself to fall into becoming a puppet to the social media and all of the BS,
Mm-hmm.
that's on you. That's on you. You're allowing it into your world.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing that I wanted, when you were talking about, you know, how your energy goes down, and how then you attract other things that are, weighing on you. Um, think of the universe like a really big algorithm,
Oh
right?
my God, what a great example. What a great way to
I
say
mean, the more you watch on Facebook, Instagram, whatever, puppy videos, kitty videos, military dads and moms coming home and seeing their kids, winning teams,
that.
and the
Baby announcements.
baby, and now, like, when you watch all of that, you, the algorithm now shows you
Yeah.
more of it, more happy stuff, right? But when you start watching the videos of
911 calls.
911
Natural
calls,
disasters.
the riots, the,
CSI Miami.
disasters,
Law and Order.
the disasters that are happening around the world, when you start watching that, what does the algorithm do?
Yep.
It starts sending it to you. Because, and the reason why I'm comparing it to the universe is, and God, the divine algorithm doesn't know no. It only knows yes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to give you more of whatever you're experiencing, because it
Yeah.
doesn't understand the difference. So if you are putting yourself out there and surrounding yourself with negativity, the universe is going, oh, she wants more negativity. Let's give it to her.
Yeah.
Same thing with the positivity. So again, you get to choose. You get to become the puppet master. Is there a
Sorry.
kitty cat that's misbehaving?
He is. He's being naughty right now. 100%. And I think that's a great way to phrase it, especially if we have any younger viewers. I think that's a great way to phrase it. And just another, the great thing about having just a different perspective like that is it's the same concept, just said differently. Which means it's going to help resonate with others, and really grasp the concept, because a lot of these concepts, especially with law of attraction, things like that, they are challenging to really fully wrap your mind around. And I think there's some aspects of it that we'll never really actually fully understand. So I love the way that you phrase that, and it's so true. And if you don't believe it's true, test it out. You literally can do it with your phone. Go on Instagram, go on Facebook, go on YouTube, and pay attention to the reels that you're lingering on. Because I'll do it in a freaking Grey's Anatomy clip. Will suck me in, and now I've got more Grey's Anatomy clips about people, having medical issues. Then it'll get into Nurse Jackie with medical issues, ER, Law and Order, and now all of a sudden I'm watching 911 dispatcher videos, having borderline panic attacks because some their house is being broken into, and I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
What just happened?
Right. So then I'll have to take a break from reels and shorts and stuff for a while, and then I'll go back on and I'll focus on the beautiful videos. And what do you know? Now I'm seeing funny cat videos, I'm seeing prank videos, I'm seeing baby announcements, and all is right again.
Because guess what? There is a lot of good going on in the world.
Hey, guess what? There's primarily good going on in the world.
You just have to turn and refocus a bit, and
Yeah.
then you get to see it. I did hear that there is an actual news channel, or maybe YouTube channel, and I don't remember, but someone had told me about it, and it is only happy and good news
There's actually
around the
videos
world.
come out now. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's going to be people that are going to say, well, how can I possibly, look at the positive stuff when there's so and so being killed in this place, and there's these people having this thing happen to their life, and how can I possibly feel okay about life? Because it's not your experience and you didn't sign up for it. You
And
can
it,
acknowledge it.
mhm.
You can take a look at it and say, is there anything I can do to help this situation? And then you let it go because it is not your experience.
Right. It's not your story. It's not your fight. It's not your lesson. Your lesson is to mind yourself, to become your own puppet master and make your emotions your puppet,
Yep.
to make your emotions, to accept them all. Name them if you want. Have conversations with them. I do. I do all the time, every day. Uh,
And
and it's natural, by the way. It's not a mental disorder. There are
what
there
isn't a mental
well,
disorder?
like, talking to the different aspects of yourself. Like,
Oh,
there
okay.
is disassociation disorders, and if that's what you believe and you're blacking out and you don't remember things, then yes, go see a medical professional. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the the victim that shows up and says, "Why does this always happen to
Okay,
me?"
we are over time. Actually, I'm just
Yeah, I
realizing.
know, because listen, so this is such a hot topic, and I'm so excited about this, and maybe we should dive in and do like a special Friday, or maybe we should even do a special Saturday
Oh
uh,
boy.
on Flag Day. But we will do a part two to this, even if it is next week. But we'll try and get it in this week because there's some things that we really want to get into a little bit deeper on. So share this out with people that you feel are a puppet and not being the puppet master of their life. And
You really have to go. Thank you for joining us today. You can find Michelle
choose
at
wisely.
mastergrace.com. You can find me at wickedwisdomconsulting.com. We appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll see you next week or sooner. Thanks for tuning in. And to just jump in and steal Michelle's tagline because we're in a rush here. You can have a good day or you can have a bad day. It's totally your choice. So choose wisely.
Thanks.
You're
See you
welcome.
later.
Bye, guys.